I'm on a quest to read every Star Wars book ever written, because like Icarus, my hubris will inevitably be my downfall. Just a few weeks ago, I finally finished a book that I've been looking at for quite a while. Shadows of the Empire by Steve Perry. It's a Legends novel detailing really the only significant event between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It focuses on Luke, Leia, Lando, and Chewie as they try to recover the carbonite frozen body of Han Solo from Boba Fett. Meanwhile, Luke is being pursued not only by Darth Vader, still intent on turning his son to the dark side, but also by the treacherous head of the Black Sun Syndicate, Prince Shizor, who is aware of Vader's search for his son and is intent on depriving the Dark Lord of his prize by killing Luke. Shadows of the Empire is actually unique among Star Wars books as the center of a multimedia project, tying together the release of a novel, a comic, and a video game into one larger story. There is some overlap between the story of the comic and the book, but it's still an interesting experiment in multimedia storytelling. I don't care about that though. I'm only here for one form of media, and it's book. This is book. Is book good? Yeah, it's not bad, but there's definitely some stuff that didn't hit me right. To start with, I know he's popular, I know this is gonna get me some flack. I can't stand Dash Rendar. Known among fans as either a beloved and dashing rogue or as a bargain bin Han Solo, I don't particularly put him into either category. I just think he sucks. He's an obnoxious, arrogant jerk who the gang brings on to help them find Han, and then spends the rest of the book just going, oh, he's so cool, he's such a good pilot, he's so handsome and strong. Dude gets a single moment of humility in the book where he might have screwed something up, and then they come back at the end to make sure you know, no, it wasn't his fault. It was totally out of his control. He's still killing it, firing a 100%. Dash can do no wrong. Dude's the worst. Discount Han Solo is a generous description. I kind of have to assume that most of the Dash fans out there like him because they know him from the video game, where he doesn't talk a lot. As a pure action hero, as a very Duke Nukem type, he would be kind of entertaining. When you actually have to listen to the things he says, he's the absolute worst. Let's move on though. This isn't the Dash Rendar book. I'm also not a huge fan of Prince Shizor. The Falleen in general are somewhat controversial. For those who aren't familiar, they're the date rape species. They exude a pheromone that makes them very hard to resist, particularly to women. And that means that much of Shizor's evil plan in this book is seducing and sleeping with Princess Leia. And I don't know, man. I know he's the villain, but I think that pulp villains like in Star Wars work best when they're limited to cartoon villainy, not sex crimes. I would be much more interested in Shizor if he tied Leia to a set of train tracks than spiking her drink at the Coruscant Club. Past the creepy vibes, though, I also just don't think he's very compelling as a character. Shizor mostly just spends the book monologuing and talking about how cool it's going to be when he wins, which makes it very funny that every single step of his plan fails. There are good things in the book too, but the last gripe I want to comment on is this is perhaps the only book I've read so far that has done Lando poorly. Some of the other books can do Luke, Han, or Leia a little bit poorly. Their characters are very broad, and some authors make them lean a little bit more towards this or a little bit more towards that. Lando, on the other hand, is so clear and consistent as a character from the moment he shows up in Empire that in just about every book he shows up in, he's fantastic. Particular shoutouts to Shadows of Mindor and Spectre of the Past for excellent Landos. In this one, most of his dialogue is just him going, "It's not my fault." You know, like in Empire, like the movie, like he said in the movie. Anyways, that's enough of that. Let's get on to the good stuff about it. I do like Luke's arc a lot in this. I mentioned in my Truce at Bakura video that I like stories where Luke and Leia grapple with the truth of their father's identity, and this is Legend's premier source for that. He also gets a scene where he builds his green lightsaber in this, which is fun. It overrides the deleted scene from Return of the Jedi where he does the same, but that's why it got deleted, isn't it? I also like in both canons stories set during the OT that focus on Vader just desperately trying to find Luke. I love how singularly focused he becomes as soon as he learns that he has a son. Everything else in the Empire becomes meaningless. He is immediately apprenticed to Palpatine in name only. His sole goal after learning Luke's identity is find him, turn him to the dark side, rule the galaxy as father and son. It makes for a very compelling character and is the most entertaining era of his life as Vader, in my opinion. Chewie is also pretty good in this. that is all. Overall, I still don't think I would say that this book is bad, but I don't know that I'd say it's very good either. I give it a 5 out of 10. Maybe the N64 game is better.